Bonjour et bienvenue. I'm Camden, and today I'm going to be talking with you about my complicated visa story in France. So this is my third year in France. The first 2 years getting a visa was relatively easy. The first year because I was a teaching assistant, and it's pretty simple. I had to make an appointment at the consulate because I had my basically work contract from the school in France that they sent me over the summer. And yeah, that's a pretty simple process because you have a specific visa as a language assistant, so that was nice. The next year was also relatively easy. Getting a visa isn't always easy, but lots of different kinds of visas are complicated. Anyway, so it was pretty simple with that. The system had changed, so instead of going to the consulate to get my visa, I had to go through a company called VFS. If anyone has gotten a visa recently for France, you'll probably know about VFS. And I got my visa in the US again. I think the only more complicated thing was that I had to register with Campus France, and the student visa was more expensive. The TAPIF visa was free. And then this year, after my master's program, I got hired to work at a university as a lectrice d'anglais. Well, here I am. And this time I decided that I could try to renew my visa in France because my visa was good until the end of August and I would be starting in September. So I figured, okay, if I'm still in France, I can try to renew my visa there, not have to go back to the US to do that, and that way I can start the process of living consecutively in France if I ever want to become French. And I believe you have to live in France for around 5 years consecutively in order to do that. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna go for it and try to renew my visa in France. And this process is a little bit complicated. I was still a student in Paris, but I was going to be moving to a city in the south of France for work. So I wasn't quite sure where I should get my visa appointment. I made appointments both in Paris and in the south of France. And I was pretty lucky with my Paris appointment because usually you hear about the préfecture that's the préfecture de police. That's where you go and have your visa appointment. You hear crazy stories about waiting in line for hours. But I was pretty lucky. I had an appointment. I got there maybe like an hour early and only had to wait like another hour or two before my appointment, which wasn't bad. And then I got a little thing called a récépissé, which is basically a little piece of paper that it's like a visa extension while they're in the process of changing your visa or renewing your visa. So I got that and then tried to make another appointment for when I got to the south of France, but French bureaucracy is really hard. I tried sending them emails. That never happened, and then I ended up getting an appointment in November, which was after my récépissé expired, but my work was okay with it. I still got the approval from La Directe to work, which has to approve a work contract for a non-European, and it's hard as an American because if you want a job like this, you have to get approval from this company, or not this company, this government organization to basically tell you, okay, is there a reason that another French person or a European can't do this job? Why are we gonna spend all this money to hire you and go through this complicated process? But yeah, so it was good on their end. And then I had my appointment today. I was kind of worried about it because my récépissé and my visa were expired, but I still had the appointment, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And yeah, I think they were kind of confused on why I had a récépissé from Paris. And even when I went to Paris, they're like, why are you here in Paris if you're going to be working in the south of France? So the French bureaucracy is not easy. You have to be really patient and really just kind of have endurance to go through and push and fight for yourself, kind of. Anyway, So today I got another récépissé, which is good until February, so I have a couple more months. I'll just show you real quick what it looks like. I don't want to give you all the details, but it's just this little blue piece of paper, has your photo on it and information, and basically it allows me to stay and work in France until my visa is sorted out, basically. So I have to wait another couple of months until I find out about that. But I'm glad I have it. And I was originally going to get a travailleur temporaire visa, which is like a temporary worker. That's what I had when I did TAPIF. And with that one, I had that because I had what's called a CDD, a contrat de durée déterminée. So a fixed length work contract, and that's what I have this year. It's a year long. But the woman at the prefecture thought, oh, maybe you can do a salarié, which is like just like a traditional work visa. So I don't know, maybe that one will be better than a travailleur temporaire, because maybe my visa will be longer, so I won't have to go through the process of renewing it every year. So fingers crossed, I'm hopeful. And yeah, visas aren't easy, but I'm really glad that I still have this little récépissé. And well, I'll keep you updated if I get my titre de séjour or not. And let me know in the comments if you have any crazy visa stories. All right, bisous.